All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm the host of the most KirPodcast. I want you to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Don't forget to hit that bell. Your boy back in this thing. Now, what we're going to talk about today is something a little dear to my heart because I'm not understanding why. And this video is going to be talking about Canon RF lenses. Going to get to gaming tomorrow, I promise you. Now, with the Canon RF lenses, I'm seeing a lot of people going wrong because some, to me, YouTubers are straying you in the wrong direction. Making you feel inadequate, making you feel like you have to buy the latest and greatest, telling yourself that you must buy what is new, what is on point, and what costs the most money. What's the one thing or one camera that you should buy? First thing I hear somebody say is Canon R1. If you don't know what a Canon R1 is, the top of the line Canon camera that is about $7,000. Then some people say, oh man, I should get a Canon R3. Again, another camera that at this point in time is anywhere between $4,500 and $5,000. Then the third one I hear, you should get a Canon R5 Mark II. Those from my Spanish people, and the thing that I find so funny about this is that again is over a $4,000 camera. Now, as many of you know, I'm a photographer and I do some video on the side and also DJ. And I feel like that's just a lot of money. You can get you a nice, fresh, used camera for far cheaper. Letting them buy all that expensive stuff, you get the stuff that's half off that works for you. Get your R5, Canon R6 Mark II, because the Mark III coming out, so the Mark II price gonna go down. You know, for me, I would always tell a beginner to get the Canon RP because it's full frame and you can get it for about 500 bucks. Go on Canon USA, if you're in the States, and you get your refurbished camera. Easy money, easy peasy. Now what you're probably saying is, big homie, what am I gonna do about the lenses? I'm glad that you asked. Let's sit up there and talk about this. These are the lenses I think that you should not get. And I'm again wants to say should not get. But I also believe that the lenses that you should get. So the ones that I believe that you should not get, unless you are professional making money from this, there's no reason for you to buy it because RF lenses are, quite frankly, expensive. Canon 85 1.2, expensive. Canon 28-70 f2, expensive. Canon 50mm 1.2, expensive. Canon 24-70, expensive. 15-35, expensive. 70-200 2.8, expensive. Now everybody gonna tell you don't get no F4S lenses because you don't need those. Let's be real with ourselves. If you got lighting, it's really not gonna matter. Due to the fact that you may wanna blur the background. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're on vacation, do you really wanna blur it out? No, you wanna leave it in focus so people can see where you were or for yourself can have memories to see where you were. Now, if you're obviously a professional, you're not trying to see where somebody's at unless that's the look you're going for. You wanna get that dreamy bokeh. You know what first thing people gonna say? Get your prime, 85 or 50, 1.2. I got both of them. I can tell you right now, 51.2. As you know, if you see in my YouTube or any type of my Instagram, don't forget to follow you, boy. On my Twitter, that Canon 50mm 1.2 was the first lens that I bought. That lens was about $2,300 to $2,500. Currently, right now, I think it's about $2,600. That's brand new. The EF 85 1.2. I think it's the most optically beautiful lens, period, that Canon makes. But let's be honest with ourselves. It's $3,300 brand new. But on Canon USA right now, refurbished, you can get it for $19.99 if they're ever in stock, because if that was me, I'd be buying that straight up. But again, those are expensive lenses. I have them all right behind me. A lens is a lens. They're also heavy. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, got this beautiful lens, right? You saying to yourself, oh, you know, it's no big deal. No, it's just a lens. It's 85, right? But bam, look at that. That's a 1.2, 85mm, $3,300 brand new. Do you need that? No. What I would tell you to get is the 85 f2, right? Beginner, trying it out with the RP. If you're better than beginner, I would say intermediate, get that 85 1.4 VCM, which is coming out. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, Some of y'all gonna talk that trash and be like, oh, well, what about a 50 millimeter? Again, that's the that is the closest thing to your eyesight. So I say, get the nifty 50, thrifty 50, whatever you wanna call it, 1.8, about $200. Okay, you wanna be a little bit better because you're intermediate to a pro? What's wrong with a 50 millimeter, 1.4 VCM? Video and is a 1.4. Again, these lenses are cool, but these lenses are also very, very expensive. Now, they're also superiorly thick and heavy. So, let's move out another one. The one that I always hear people like, oh man, what about this one? And I'm gonna tell you, again, expensive, very, very expensive. 70 to 200, 2.8. Granted, version 1. Do I like version 2? I think it's optically better, but let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not finna sit up there and let this thing go for about the $3,000 that you pay to sit up there and pick another $3,000 lens, which you're not gonna get all your money back for selling this one. This one, very portable, small, compact, the barrel extends out. Some of you don't like that. It's external. The other one is internal, which is great, but let's be honest with ourselves. A bit expensive. They have the 28 to 70 f4, right? Cheaper, more affordable, about $1,500. You can get it used for probably about $12. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but remember, these lenses are also heavy. And I always tell people all the time, you want to get what works best for you and your pockets, because right now, if you know, these days and times, things are a little expensive. Now, let's talk about the ones I always say everybody wants. 28 to 70, f2. Look at that. It's a chunky thing. This mother sucker has some weight on it. Beautiful lens. But it got weight. And this is always sitting at $3,000. Now, again, you can go on Canon website, use. I seen it for $2,100. Great lens, great buy. But again, they have a 28 to 70 2.8, which is $1,100. Again, that is cheaper, especially when you're just starting off. How you know you're gonna like this? How you know this gonna be for you? Why go out there and be with the Jetsons to spend all that money when you really don't have to? I mean, these are the things that I'm talking about when people sit up there and say, oh, they wanna get all this expensive stuff, 50 millimeter, 1.2. Again, expensive. I personally believe it's cheaper to keep her. I personally believe what you should do, because I keep hearing this bad advice, get stuff that is cheap and figure it out. These days and times, people are hurting. The economy's rough. In America, we got tariffs. Player, you can still get your money. You can still sell your photos. You can still do like I do, rent out your equipment when you're not using it. Again, this is subjective. If you're a baller, by all means, get what you need to get. Get the 1.2s. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love the 1.2s. But let's be real with ourselves. If I was just starting out, ain't nowhere in the world I would spend that type of money. Now, some of y'all will say maybe you should switch to the Sony ecosystem. I don't feel like you have to, but the rather situation is you can get the 16 to 28. I believe that's 1,100 change coming out. That's 2.8. You can also get the 28 to 70, 2.8. Again, $1,100. And you can get the 70 to 200 f4. Again, about $1,400, $1,500. You can get it used. Think about it before you go out dumping all this money. I'm just tired of telling everybody go out there and get all that expensive stuff. For what? You don't need all that. Again, camera stuff is only part of the game. Learning how to use your tool is something that is better for you. Now, I appreciate all y'all that came by listening to me rant. What I'm simply saying is buy what's affordable. You do not have to buy the most expensive thing. Get what works and what is affordable for you. Again, if it's all you got is a cell phone, by all means, handle your business. Remember, folks, you don't need the most expensive gear. I got a 1DX sitting over there in the corner. EF lenses sitting over there in the corner. Again, you don't need all the expensive stuff. Mirrorless is cool, but mirrorless is also expensive. Sorry for the rant. Tomorrow, we will be talking about gaming. We're going to talk about Xbox and the premium nonsense that he's talking about. But photographers, videographers, think before you go out there and buy. Do your research before you go out there and buy. Just because somebody telling you that it's the latest and greatest, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, how you know they didn't get it for free? How you know they ain't telling that because they're being sponsored? How you know they ain't out here just trying to upsell you some stuff? Think, player, use your brain, weigh your options. Think about them pockets. It's cool and all, but that stuff when you walk around with it or hiking with it, it's heavy. Walk around at different events, it's heavy. And then also think about video. Now, if I'm on my R5C, I'm not gonna use those. There's other lenses, but again, when it comes to video, that's a whole different video. Rather, the situation is, I just wanna let you know, be safe, be smart, be aware. Don't let nobody suck you, man. Don't let nobody do it, but don't be afraid to be a photographer. You can get it for lower prices. Not necessarily saying cheap because photography ain't cheap. Not necessarily videography is cheap, but you can get it cheaper than what they're trying to shoot you for. I appreciate you. Could be anywhere else, but just started to kick with your boy. I want to say appreciate it. Shout out to University of Miami. Shout out for you. Tomorrow we're going to be back talking about Xbox and their premium prices on this new console that's coming out. Oh yeah, I got some comments on that. Be good, be safe. Check out later. Peace. We in the new studio. Let's go get it, baby.